Amara Hayes
Help!
still couldn't
Somebody
believe
help
her
me!
life was real.
It's got me. Oh,
6
God,
months
it's got
ago,
me.
she'd been a social worker
stay
in
back!
Atlanta, helping
Help!
families
Somebody
navigate
help me!
broken systems.
It's got me. Oh,
Now
God,
she
it's
stood
got
in
me.
a Seoul
Ah,
penthouse,
stay back!
married to Kang Jae-won, one of Korea's most powerful men. The media called him a business mogul. His enemies called him something else entirely. But to Amara, he was simply the man who'd seen past her ordinary life and chosen her anyway. Tonight was the Spring Charity Gala, the most elite event of the season. Amara wore a custom gown that cost more than her old annual salary. Her natural hair was styled in elegant braids adorned with gold accessories. She looked every inch the powerful wife she'd become. "You're nervous," Jaewon said, adjusting his cufflinks. 100 wealthy people are about to judge everything about me. Of course I'm nervous. Let them judge. You're my wife. That's the only opinion that matters. He kissed her forehead. Besides, they're more afraid of you than you are of them. Why would they be afraid of me? Because you have something they'll never have, my complete loyalty. They descended the grand staircase together, and every eye turned. Some looks were admiring, others were calculating, and one set of eyes burned with pure hatred. Lee Min-seo watched Amara's entrance with barely concealed fury. For 10 years, Min-seo had been Jaewon's business associate. Everyone knew she wanted more, expected more. She positioned herself as the perfect match, Korean, from the right family, understanding the culture and business. Then Amara appeared, an American, a foreigner, a black woman who had no right to the position Min-seo had earned through years of strategic patience. She looks uncomfortable, Min-seo's friend whispered, like she doesn't belong. Because she doesn't, Min-seo said coldly. This world will chew her up and spit her out. She just doesn't know it yet. Throughout the evening, Min-seo watched how Jaewon touched Amara's back protectively, how he introduced her with pride, how other men's wives approached her with genuine warmth, drawn to her authenticity. It was unbearable. I need to make a call, Min-seo said, excusing herself. In a quiet corner, she pulled out her phone and texted someone. Is everything ready? The response came immediately. The restroom lock is set. Just get her there. Min-seo smiled. By the end of tonight, Amara Hayes would understand her place, and that place was nowhere near Kang Jae-won's side. Let's see how she handles a little embarrassment, Min-seo whispered to herself. The trap was simple but effective. Min-seo approached Amara during a quiet moment. Mrs. Kang, you have something on your dress. In the back. You might want to check it before photos. Amara's hand flew to her back. What? Where? I can't quite see from this angle. The powder room upstairs is much better lit than these downstairs ones. More private too. You don't want photographers catching you mid-fix. It made sense. Amara had been dreading the formal photos. Thank you. Which way? I'll show you. Min-seo led her through the mansion's less traveled corridors to an elegant restroom on the second floor. This one is perfect. Take your time. Amara entered, immediately going to the large mirror. She twisted, trying to see her back. There was nothing there. Confused, she turned to ask Min-seo, but the door clicked shut and locked. Hello? Amara tried the handle. It wouldn't budge. Min-seo? No answer. She knocked. Hello? The door is stuck. Silence. Amara pulled out her phone. No signal. The restroom was in an older part of the mansion, apparently with thick walls that blocked reception. Okay, don't panic. Someone will come. She knocked louder. Hello, can anyone hear me? But the party was 2 floors below. The music was loud, and no one knew where she'd gone. Minutes began to stretch. 10, then 15, then 20. Amara's calm started cracking into fear. Amara tried everything. She knocked until her knuckles hurt, called out until her voice went hoarse, tried to force the lock with a hairpin like in movies, but the mechanism was solid, modern, designed not to be broken. This is ridiculous, she muttered. I'm literally locked in a bathroom at my own event. She checked her phone again. Still no signal.
I think someone's in here.
The time showed 8:47
Hello?
p.m.
Is anyone there?
The formal photos were scheduled for 9. Jaewon
I think
would
someone's
notice
in
her
here.
absence. Wouldn't
Hello?
he?
Is anyone
But
there?
what if he didn't? What if he thought she was mingling?
We have to get out of
What
here
if
now.
hours passed before anyone
Hurry before it's
realized?
too late.
The restroom was beautiful but windowless.
We have to get out of
Climate
here
controlled.
now.
She had water from the
Hurry
tap
before
at
it's
least,
too late.
but the walls felt like they were closing in. Amara sat on the small bench, forcing herself to breathe slowly. You've survived worse than this. Much worse. This is just embarrassing, not dangerous. But the fear was irrational and powerful. being trapped, helpless, unable to call for help. She thought about her childhood, the tiny apartment she'd shared with her mother, the nights when doors were locked to keep danger out, not trap people in. "Someone will come," she whispered. "Someone will notice." Outside, the party continued. Champagne flowed, business deals were discussed in hushed corners, and Minseo watched the clock with satisfaction, waiting for the exact right moment to express concern about Mrs. Kang's prolonged absence. By 9:15, Amara's calm had completely shattered. She was pacing the small restroom, fighting panic. Her dress felt too tight, the air felt too thin, her hands were shaking. "Hello," she pounded on the door again. "Please, someone help me." Her reflection in the mirror showed smudged makeup and desperate eyes. This was supposed to be her night, her moment to prove she belonged in Jaewon's world. Instead, she was trapped like a rat. "Why isn't anyone coming?" Her voice cracked. "Where is everyone?" She tried the door handle again. Nothing. Checked her phone. Nothing. The battery was at 47%. She turned it off to conserve power in case she needed it later. The silence was oppressive. She could faintly
No
hear
one can
music
know.
from below, but
I
it was
understand.
muffled and distant.
Promise
A
me.
reminder that life
I
was
promise.
continuing without her.
No
that
one
she was
can know.
forgotten.
I
"Jaewon will
understand.
notice," she told
Promise
herself
me.
firmly.
I
"He'll
promise.
look for me." But doubt crept in. Would he? The party had hundreds of people, important people. He was probably networking, making deals, being the powerful man he was. Maybe her absence didn't even register. Amara sat back down, wrapping her arms around herself. And for the first time since entering Jaewon's world, she felt completely alone. "Please," she whispered to no one, "please find me." Downstairs, the gala reached its peak. The charity auction was underway, with wealthy attendees bidding ridiculous amounts on luxury items for tax write-offs disguised as generosity. Jaewon stood among them, bidding mechanically while his mind wandered. Where was Amara? He'd last seen her 30 minutes ago, maybe longer. He'd been caught in a conversation with Japanese investors and lost track of time. "Everything all right, Mr. Kang?" his assistant asked quietly. "Have you seen my wife?" "Not recently, sir. Should I locate her?" "Please." The assistant disappeared into the crowd. Jaewon continued playing his role, smiling, nodding, making small talk. But something felt wrong, an instinct honed by years of navigating dangerous situations. Minseo appeared at his elbow. "Wonderful event, Jaewon. Your wife must be so proud. Have you seen her?" "Amara? Not in a while, actually. I hope she's not overwhelmed. These gatherings can be intense for newcomers." There was something in her tone, something performative. "What do you mean by that?" "Nothing, just that she seemed a bit nervous earlier. I'm sure she's fine, probably just freshening up." His assistant returned, frowning. "Sir, no one has seen Mrs. Kang for approximately 40 minutes. Security is checking the grounds." 40 minutes. Too long. Jaewon's expression shifted from concern to something colder. "Lock down the estate. Find her. Now." Within minutes, Jaewon's entire security apparatus activated. 30 guards, 20 staff members. Every room, every corner, every possible location searched systematically. Check the gardens, the library, guest rooms, everywhere. Jaewon's voice was calm, but carried an edge that made people move faster. His second-in-command approached. "Sir, should we alert the guests?" "Not yet. I don't want panic, but I want answers in the next 5 minutes." What if she simply left, needed air, or she wouldn't leave without telling me? Something's wrong. Jaewon pulled out his phone, calling Amara's number. It went straight to voicemail. "Amara, where are you? Call me immediately." He hung up and dialed again. Same result. His jaw tightened. "Pull security footage. Every camera. I want to see where she went and who she was with." The head of security nodded and rushed to the control room. Jaewon stood alone for a moment, his mind racing through possibilities. Lost? Unlikely. She knew the mansion. Ill? Someone would have found her. Kidnapped? Impossible with this level of security. Unless someone inside had helped. The thought made his blood run cold. He'd built his empire on loyalty, but loyalty could always be bought or manipulated. "Find her," he said into his phone to the entire security team. "I don't care what it takes. Find my wife. Now." The security control room became a war room. 6 monitors showed footage from different angles. The head of security, Park, rewound and fast-forwarded through the evening. "There," Park said, freezing an image. "Mrs. Kang, 8:32 p.m., second floor, east wing." The footage showed
We
Amara
have to
walking
talk
with
about what
another
happened.
woman. They
I know
stopped
it's
at a door.
complicated.
Amara
We need to
entered.
fix
The other
this
woman walked
together.
away.
We
Who
have
is
to
that?
talk about what
Jaewon
happened.
demanded. Park
I know
zoomed
it's
in.
complicated.
Lee
We
Min-seo,
need to
sir.
fix
The
this
name hit like a
together.
physical blow. Show me everything, every interaction, every moment. They watched as Min-seo approached Amara, spoke briefly, led her away from the party. Get me Min-seo. Now. Sir, she's still at the party. Should we be discreet? I don't care about discretion. Bring her to me immediately. While waiting, Jaewon studied the footage. That room, what is it? Private restroom, second floor, one of the renovated spaces. Send security there, now. 2 guards rushed out. Jaewon continued watching the footage, his expression growing darker with each passing second. Min-seo had deliberately led Amara away, had pointed to a specific room, had walked away with purpose, not concern. Sir, Park said quietly, the door to that restroom, we had maintenance issues yesterday. The electronic lock was glitching. We put a note to keep it closed until repair. So if someone closed that door from the outside, it would lock automatically from the outside with no way to open from inside. Jaewon's hands clenched into fists. And Min-seo knew this? Inside the restroom, Amara had given up trying to stay calm. She was sitting on the floor, knees pulled to her chest, mascara streaking her face. An hour, maybe more. She'd lost track of time. Her phone was off. Her hope was fading. This is how I die, she whispered, bitterly. Not from anything dramatic, just locked in a bathroom
God, please!
like an idiot.
Help,
She
help
tried
me!
everything, screaming, pounding, even trying to break the mirror to make
please!
noise, but it was
Help
reinforced.
me!
The room was designed for privacy and luxury, which meant soundproofing, perfect for trapping someone. Jaewon must think I abandoned him. Walked out on the party, on him. The thought hurt worse than the physical discomfort. She'd worked so hard to fit into his world, to prove she belonged, and now she was missing from the most important event of the season. He'll never trust me again, she said aloud. Everyone will think I'm weak, unreliable, not cut out for this life. Her mind spiraled into darker thoughts. What if no one came? What if they just assumed she'd left? What if she was stuck here all night? The panic attack hit hard. Her breathing became rapid, shallow. The room spun. She pressed her forehead to her knees. Please, please someone find me. And then, finally, she heard it. Footsteps, running, voices shouting in Korean. Hello! She scrambled to her feet. I'm in here. Please, I'm locked in. The door handle rattled. Mrs. Kang? Yes, I'm here. The door is locked. Step back from the door. We're breaking it open. The door exploded inward as 2 security guards put their shoulders into it. The electronic lock shattered, and suddenly Amara was staring at concerned faces and bright hallway lights. Mrs. Kang, are you hurt? She stumbled forward, and they caught her. I'm okay. How long was I? Over an hour, ma'am. Mr. Kang has been searching everywhere. An hour? Her voice was small. Where is he? Coming now, ma'am. And then he was there. Jaewon appeared at the end of the hallway, walking fast, his expression a mixture of relief and fury. Amara. He reached her in seconds, pulling her into his arms. Are you hurt? Did anyone? I'm fine. I'm okay. I just got locked in. The door closed and I couldn't. She was babbling now, the stress pouring out. I tried to call, but there was no signal and I couldn't open it. And shh, you're safe now. I have you. He held her tightly and she realized he was shaking too. I was terrified, she whispered into his chest. I didn't know if anyone would come. I will always come for you. Always. He pulled back to look at her face, gentle fingers wiping away her tears. Who brought you here? Min-seo. She said there was something on my dress. Told me to use this restroom, but there was nothing. And then the door locked and... She stopped, seeing his expression change. What? Nothing. Let's get you downstairs. You need water, food, rest. The party doesn't matter. You matter. Come. Jaewon led Amara to his private office, away from the party. He settled her on the couch with water and a blanket despite the warm temperature. His staff brought food. His personal doctor checked her vitals. I'm fine, Amara protested. Really, just shaken. Humor me. Jaewon dismissed everyone except his head of security. Once alone, his demeanor changed completely. The concerned husband vanished, replaced by something colder. Show her. Park pulled out a tablet, queuing up the security footage. Amara watched herself follow Min-seo, watched the door close, watched Min-seo walk away without looking back. She knew, Amara said slowly. She knew it would lock. Yes, and she knew you'd be trapped, humiliated, missing from your own event. Jaewon's voice was ice. She planned this deliberately. But why? What did I ever do to her? You married me. That's enough. He stood, pacing like a caged animal. Minso has wanted my position, my name, my life for years. Your existence is an insult to her. So she locks me in a bathroom. That's insane. It's calculated. She wanted you to look weak, unreliable, wanted people to question my choice of wife, wanted to humiliate you publicly. Amara felt anger replacing her fear. Where is she now? Downstairs, still at the party, playing concerned. I want to confront her. You will, but not yet. First, I need you to understand something. Jaewon knelt in front of her. This world I live in, people will test you, challenge you, try to break you. Minso won't be the last. I know that. Do you? Because what happens next will define how every person in my organization sees you, how they treat you, forever. 20 minutes later, Jaewon and Amara returned to the party. The guests were still mingling, unaware of the drama that had unfolded upstairs. Whispers started the moment they appeared. There she is. Where was she? She looks upset. Jaewon led Amara to the center of the ballroom. The music stopped. Every eye turned to them. Thank you all for coming tonight, Jaewon said, his voice carrying easily. I apologize for the disruption. There was an incident that required my immediate attention. Is everything all right? Someone called out. It is now, but I need to address something publicly. He gestured to his security team. Bring Lee Min-seo forward. The crowd parted. Min-seo approached, her expression carefully neutral. Jaewon, what's this about? Where were you between 8:30 and 9:30 tonight? Various places. Mingling. Why? Do you know where my wife was? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Let me help you understand. Jaewon nodded to Park, who projected the security footage onto a large screen. The entire room watched as Min-seo led Amara to the restroom, watched her walk away. The timestamp showed 8:32 p.m. That's the last anyone saw of my wife until security found her, locked in that room, over an hour later. Min-seo's face went pale. I didn't know the door would lock. I was trying to help. The maintenance record shows you were informed yesterday about that door's malfunction. You knew it would trap anyone who entered. I forgot. You forgot. How convenient. Jaewon's voice was deadly calm. Tell everyone the truth. Why
This
did
is
you
our
do
one
it?
opportunity. There is no
The
margin for
silence in
error.
the ballroom
If we
was
fail, the
absolute.
consequences will be
Every person
catastrophic.
held their breath,
Understood?
waiting.
This is our one opportunity.
Min-seo's
There is no
carefully
margin for
constructed
error.
mask
If we
cracked.
fail, the
I
consequences will
don't
be
have to explain
catastrophic.
myself.
Understood?
You trapped my wife, deliberately, knowing she'd be helpless, frightened, humiliated. Jaewon stepped closer. Why? Because she doesn't belong here. The words burst out of Min-seo like poison. You married her after 6 months, some American woman with no understanding of our world, our culture, our way of life. I've been loyal to you for 10 years. 10 years of standing beside you, supporting your business, earning my place, and you chose her? The naked jealousy was shocking. Several guests gasped. So you decided to punish her? Jaewon's voice was soft but cutting. To humiliate her? To make her look weak? I wanted her to understand what it means to be in your world, to see if she was strong enough. Clearly, she's not. Min-seo's voice turned bitter. Look at her. She's been crying. She looks broken. Is that the woman you want representing your empire? Yes. Jaewon's answer was immediate. Because she survived. She endured an hour of fear and confusion, and when security found her, she was still standing, still strong. That's who my wife is. He turned to address the entire room. Let me be clear. Amara is not just my wife. She is my partner, my equal. An attack on her is an attack on me, and anyone who forgets that will face consequences. He looked back at Min-seo. You're done. Your business partnerships with my organization are terminated. Your access to my properties is revoked, and your reputation, he gestured to the room full of witnesses, is now destroyed. Min-seo's face went from pale to red. You can't do this. I have contracts, agreements, which I'm choosing not to renew. You're not entitled to my business or my loyalty, not anymore. But there was more to the story. Park approached with another tablet. Sir, there's additional footage you should see. Show everyone. The screen changed. This time it showed Min-seo earlier in the evening, in a private hallway, speaking on her phone. Park had enhanced the audio. Is everything ready? Min-seo's voice came through clearly. The restroom lock is set. Just get her there. A male voice responded. Once she's trapped, how long should we leave her? At least 2 hours. long enough for everyone to notice, long enough for her to break down completely. Gasps rippled through the crowd. This wasn't impulse, Jaewon said. This was premeditated, planned. She had help. Who else was involved? Someone demanded. Park pulled up more footage. A maintenance worker, one of the staff, was shown tampering with the restroom lock. This man works for the building management company. He was paid to ensure the lock would fail. The worker was already in custody, it turned out. Security had grabbed him during the search. He confessed, Park said. Min-seo paid him 50 million won to sabotage the lock. She planned this days ago. She was just waiting for the right opportunity. The crowd turned on Min-seo with collective fury. These were people who valued loyalty above all else, who understood the sanctity of business relationships. What Min-seo had done was unforgivable. I trusted you, Jaewon said quietly. For years, I trusted you, and you used that trust to hurt someone I love. For what? Jealousy? Pride? Min-seo said nothing. Her face was stone. Get out, Jaewon said. Get out of my home, out of my sight, and consider yourself fortunate I'm being this merciful. After Min-seo was escorted out, Jaewon addressed the gathering one final time. I want to be clear about something else. My wife endured tonight's incident with grace and strength, but she shouldn't have had to endure it at all. He took Amara's hand, pulling her forward. Amara came into my life from a different world, different culture, different experiences, and I chose her specifically because of those differences, because she sees the world in ways I can't, because she makes me better. His voice carried through the silent room. Some of you have questioned my choice, wondered if she's appropriate for this life. Tonight should answer that question. She faced deliberate cruelty and came through it unbroken. That's strength. That's the woman I want beside me. Amara squeezed his hand, tears pricking her eyes. From this moment forward, Amara speaks with my full authority. Any business decision she makes, I support. Any concern she raises, I address. Any disrespect shown to her will be answered by me personally. He looked around the room.
The time has come
Is
to
that
make a
understood?
decision.
A
I
murmur
can't
of
ignore
agreement.
this any longer.
I said, is that understood? Yes, Mr.
The
Kang.
time has come to make a
Came the
decision.
unified
I
response.
can't ignore this any
Satisfied,
longer.
Jaewon relaxed slightly. Now let's continue this party. We came here for charity, after all. The music resumed. Conversation started again, but the energy had shifted completely. People approached Amara not with pity, but with respect, with understanding that she wasn't just Jaewon's wife. She was a power in her own right. One elderly businessman bowed to her. Mrs. Kang, you handled tonight with remarkable composure. I apologize for doubting your place here. Thank you, Amara said graciously. I appreciate that. The following days brought consequences. Min-seo's business empire began to collapse. Partners pulled out. Investors withdrew funding. Her social standing evaporated overnight. The Korean business community moved in coordinated silence, cutting her off from everything she'd built. She tried to salvage relationships, but doors closed in her face. Jaewon had made his position clear, and no one wanted to be on his wrong side. Within a week, Min-seo had lost 3 major contracts and 2 board positions. Her apartment, in a building Jaewon's company partially owned, received an eviction notice due to lease violations. Her exclusive gym membership was revoked. Her reservations at high-end restaurants mysteriously canceled. It was systematic dismantling. Not violent, but thorough. Is this your doing? Amara asked Jaewon one evening. Some of it. The rest is organic. People don't want to be associated with someone who betrayed trust so publicly. It seems harsh. She tried to destroy you. This is mercy compared to what I wanted to do. He looked at her seriously. In my world, trust is currency. She spent all of hers. This is the consequence. Amara thought about that, about the woman who'd smiled to her face while planning humiliation. I don't feel sorry for her. Good, you shouldn't. Meanwhile, the maintenance worker who'd helped Min-seo faced criminal charges. Tampering with security features. Conspiracy to commit assault, because trapping someone could be classified as unlawful imprisonment. His company fired him immediately. I was just following orders, he'd told police. She paid me so much money. I didn't think anyone would get hurt. But someone did get hurt, the investigator said. Mrs. Kang was trapped for over an hour, traumatized. That has consequences. That night, alone in their bedroom, Jaewon and Amara finally talked about everything. I was terrified, Amara admitted. Not just of being trapped, but of disappointing you, of proving everyone right who said I didn't belong. You could never disappoint me. But I felt so weak, so helpless. Everything I've worked to build, this confident image, just crumbled. That's called being human, and it's okay. He pulled her close. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just have to be yourself. What if myself isn't enough? It's more than enough. It's everything. They lay together in comfortable silence. I need to tell you something, Amara said, about why tonight scared me so much. I'm listening. When I was 7, my mother locked me in a closet during one of her episodes. She was struggling with addiction and paranoia, thought people were coming to take me, thought hiding me was protection. Amara's voice was
Please, you
quiet.
have to
I
understand.
was in there for 6
This is more
hours
serious
before a
than you
neighbor heard me
think.
crying.
We
Luan's
have to act
arms
now.
tightened around her.
Please, you have
That's
to
what tonight
understand.
triggered.
This
All
is more
those old
serious than you
feelings,
think.
Being trapped.
We have to act
helpless,
now.
Forgotten. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you went through that. Both times. It's not your fault, but I need you to understand. I'm not as strong as you think. I have weaknesses, fears, trauma. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you a survivor. And survivors are the strongest people I know. He kissed her forehead. Thank you for trusting me with this. Thank you for finding me. Always. I will always find you. 3 months later, the landscape had shifted completely. Amara had found her footing in Jaewon's world. She'd started taking Korean lessons, had begun attending business meetings, had earned respect through competence and authenticity rather than trying to fit an image. She'd also started a foundation, using her background in social work to create support systems for immigrant women in Korea. You're doing what I should have thought to do years ago, Jaewon said, reviewing the foundation's plans, building actual community support. You were busy building an empire. I'm just trying to help people navigate it. The foundation launched to significant fanfare. Major donors contributed, celebrities endorsed it, and women who'd struggled alone suddenly had resources, legal help, language support,
The meeting is set for tomorrow.
job training,
Good.
community.
We need to be ready.
One evening,
I've reviewed
Amara
all the
received an
documents.
unexpected
Let's discuss the
visitor,
strategy.
Min Seo's younger
The meeting is
sister,
set for tomorrow.
Mrs. Kang.
Good.
I'm sorry
We need to be
bother
ready.
you.
I've
I
reviewed
know
all the
what my sister
documents.
did
Let's
was
discuss the
unforgivable.
strategy.
What can I do for you? Amara asked carefully. Minseo's in the hospital. She attempted suicide last week. She's stable now, but the woman's voice broke. She's lost everything, and I understand why, but she's still my sister. I thought you should know. Amara felt complicated emotions. I'm sorry she's suffering, but I can't. I'm not asking you to forgive her or help her. I just wanted you to know that your mercy, Mr. Kang's mercy, in not pursuing criminal charges probably saved her life. If she'd faced prison, I think she would have. Amara understood. Tell her I hope she finds peace and help, real help. Thank you. That's more than she deserves. 6 months after the incident, the annual charity gala returned. This time, Amara walked in with complete confidence. She'd earned her place, proven herself not just as Jaewon's wife, but as a force in her own right. You look amazing, Jaewon said, admiring her emerald gown. I feel amazing. That's the difference. They entered the ballroom to applause, not polite, obligatory applause, genuine respect. Over the past months, Amara had built relationships, had proven her business acumen, had shown strength and compassion in equal measure. Mrs. Kang, an elderly woman, approached, the wife of one of Korea's most powerful families. I wanted to apologize for my coldness last year. I judged you unfairly. You've proven yourself exceptional. Thank you. That means a great deal. Throughout the evening, similar conversations happened. People who doubted her now sought her advice. Women who'd whispered about her now asked her to speak at their events. Men who'd dismissed her now pitched business opportunities. You've completely transformed their perception, Jaewon said proudly. I just stopped trying to be what I thought they wanted, started being myself instead. And yourself is magnificent. At midnight, Jaewon made an announcement. Many of you know my wife's foundation has helped hundreds of women this year. What you don't know is that she's now expanding it internationally, with my full support and investment. Applause filled the room. Amara, would you like to say something? She stepped forward. Thank you. When I first entered this world, I felt like an outsider. I was scared, unsure, constantly worried about belonging. But I've learned something important. Belonging isn't given. It's earned. Through actions, through integrity, through showing up even when it's hard. A year after that terrible night, Amara stood in her foundation's new office building, a gift from Jawan. She'd transformed from an uncertain newcomer into one of Seoul's most respected philanthropists. "Remember when you were locked in that bathroom?" her assistant asked while organizing files. "Every day," Amara admitted, but not with fear anymore, with gratitude. Gratitude? That night showed me exactly who I was surrounded by, who my real allies were, who I could trust, and it showed me who I could become. Jaewon appeared in the doorway. Ready? For what? Surprise. Heesma led her to the building's lobby. A plaque had been installed, the Maya Williams Center for Immigrant Women, named for Amara Hayes Kang's mother, who survived and thrived despite impossible odds. Amara's eyes filled with tears. "You did this? You did this. I just paid for the building. You built everything inside it." That evening, back at home, they stood on their balcony overlooking Seoul. "Do you ever regret it?" Amara asked. "Choosing me? Dealing with all the drama?" "Never. You're the best decision I ever made. Even though I brought chaos into your perfectly ordered life? Especially because of that. You made me better, made my world better." Jaewon turned to face her. "That night Minso locked you in that bathroom. She thought she was destroying you. Instead, she forced you to show everyone exactly how strong you are, how resilient, how worthy. And now, no one would dare question your place, not just as my wife, but as a power in your own right. You've built something real, something lasting." Amara smiled. "We built it. Together. Together. Always." And they stood there, two people from different worlds who'd created something entirely their own. Something built on respect, trust, and love that had survived every test. The Shadow Crown had a new queen, and she wore it beautifully.